we're back again. This time Yuri and Chris have morphed into me, Brelston. Final PAX stream of the show, and we're going to go into raid mode on Resident Evil Revelations. This is showing off Rachel, actually, who's one of the new characters for the raid mode for consoles. 360, PS3, and PC, Wii U, coming out in May. And let's hop into the game. So, in case you didn't already know how this works, but if you're watching the stream, I think you might already know. But in case you didn't, raid mode is just an extra mode to Revelations, which is itself a little bit more claustrophobic, a little bit slower paced game, similar to the older games in the series. But this extra mode, it takes a little bit of cues from Mercenaries, only it's not about, beating as many enemies as possible in a time frame. It's about kind of grinding through these levels and getting random loot drops to power up your weapons. Like if you go into guns here, for example, I'm at level 1 now, just starting the stream, but every gun you get will have different properties, and you can customize these slots with different custom parts you find, and your character levels up, your weapons level up. It's a lot of fun. So as an example, we'll jump into, yesterday we did a Hunk stream, who's also new for Revelations on consoles, but today we're doing Rachel. Who's an interesting character in that, and this is online co-op as well, but this being a show demo, it'll be local, or single player. Obviously very loud on the show floor PAX, surrounded by dozens of boos all yelling at the top of their lungs. But yeah, you'll find someone pointing out in the chat, Metallica 1337, Leet.
Rachel, on the scene.
Each character has like different proficiencies and different skills that can kind of affect how you might approach each fight. But yeah, so let's first look at Rachel for raid mode. So again, how this works, this is the very first level, so this will be pretty basic, but this is my enemy, the Ooze, and there you saw that little white flash. That's a critical hit, which makes them stun, or in that case, was enough to actually kill the monster, the Ooze. If you aim at the red pieces, you stand more likely to stun them. And again, getting BP is basically the currency of raid mode. The more you get at the end, the more BP you have to spend to get more items and improve your character. And this is the first look at one of the variants. In this case, this is a variant of the main enemy, the Ooze, where they're twice as tall. That shield icon means way higher defense. So I'm going to try to shoot the knees out, get him to drop, and then you can RE4 style knife to finish it up. But that's just this being the first level. It's all about giving you like a quick look. Whoa, whoa! Easing you into the notion of raid mode, which is fighting these enemies, but also learning how to deal with the variants as they show up. So you'll meet a lot of them in this area under a very controlled, safe environment. Not too much risk of getting stomped. And then as the levels progress and the difficulty progresses, they get much harder and pack a lot more enemies on the screen. And in fact, behind me right now is a little speed-based dude who won't get off my back. So he's smaller, but that speed icon shows he moves at like kind of twice the speed. And this guy will shoot his arm at me. And again, if it looks a little easy, this is the first map. Like, it's kind of equivalent to maybe your first quest in Monster Hunter, where you've got some basic weapons, basic enemies, But as you grind, you can customize your character, progress farther, harder difficulties, change the enemy layout. Wow, one shot. Woo! So this is another variant. He's got a fist next to his face, which means he'll attack with, I'm guessing, probably close to double. There we go. But another interesting aspect of raid mode, to see if I can pull this off, or of Revelations in general, is the dodge mechanic. See if I can. Well, if you get hit too hard, you actually go into this stun state. But I'll bring him down with me. And yes, you got to be on the lookout for these guys too. Right in the butt. Gratuitous shot.
That was great.
And that's how you finish a match. Defeating all the enemies in the map gives you a bonus. You don't even necessarily have to defeat all the enemies. And these are the custom parts you get, which now I'll hop back in. And since this is a demo, it does bounce you all the way back out. So you can look at these different stages. And this being like a normal difficulty, Trench being a little bit harder, and then you'll unlock another difficulty after that. But let's go to. I'll try this guest cabin, and again go characters here. So Jill, Chris, Parker, all unlocked from the start. If you played the 3DS version, you'll know who some of these question marks are. But again, Hunk, you see there, Shadow Dancer 2, even easier to dodge attacks. It's a little easier for Hunk to get away from stuff. Rachel actually has health regeneration. And, you know, each of the characters have a little bit something different to offer. Melee weapon damage, plus 200% for Parker. Rachel Foley. So this being a demo, I don't have any BP to go shop, but what you would do is you can come in here and buy different custom parts, and you see up stopping power by 60%, or this different gun, and this G36 is different from another G36 you might get as a random drop in the game. Here you see it's, you know, this unique properties. This one's firepower is a little less. Capacity is different. This one has dazing effects, which will put enemies in a stun state that lets you do that physical attack, which is super strong. This will up your critical hit rate by 10%, and every gun you see on the right there has different slots to customize. So there's actually a lot you can sink your teeth into. But the weird thing is, it being a demo, I don't have any of these guns unlocked. So all I have is a pistol. So we'll see if I can actually take out this level. I don't believe there are any changes to the existing raid mode characters. I think they're more or less how they were before. I think they're just adding Hunk and Rachel. And something else you can do, it's not quite good for raid mode. It's more something you might want to mess with in the campaign. But you can change the controls up here to classic, and basically what that does is it goes straight up RE4 style, where the left stick will move you around. You know, you can do that business there, but the right stick will move the camera like this. Perpetually hair in her face. And Rachel's semi-ridiculous character design. Whoa, forgot. I gotta change the camera back. It's just something that makes a little bit more sense in the campaign. But when you're in raid mode, when the bit is to run and shoot as quick as you can, probably don't want to do that. So there you see the RE3 style evade, where you can hit up on the stick. There we go. And those melee attacks, I was talking to the producer, those melee attacks are as strong as like a equivalent of like a magnum shot. So quite powerful. So yeah, headshots are good and all in this, but so that was a critical, made him stagger. But the way the ooze work, shooting them in their limbs is generally a good tactic as well, because that'll get them to, actually I want to try to toss a... somebody's trying to talk at me. I don't think I have any grenades. So again, this is a variant of the regular enemy. Jeez. But yeah, if you shoot them in the red parts of their extremities, you can get them in that stun state, which lets you do that melee move, which saves you a ton of ammo. There we go. So that finishes that off. And then we'll keep moving. So while headshots may do more damage, there's just a bit of like ammo conservation going on if you can get them stunned. Whoops, I thought he was dead. Oh, he was stunned. But imagine, you know, several rounds into this where you've got a gun that has all these different effects, or multiple guns. There was another one of those RE3 style dodges to get out of the way. But there is a guy right on me. Normally by now you would have some better guns. But this being a demo build, I can't really grind for points. There we go. But yeah, knowing you have a weapon that a lot of different properties, like easier to stun, or it'll make an enemy more aggro or less aggro. Bam. And there you see I picked up illegal custom parts. So that is a random loot drop. So you'll get them in the same place every time you play the map, but you don't know what you get until you finish the level. It's like another quick evade. Barely made it out of that one. And there you see next to their name, that's the level of the enemy as well. Whoa! Thought I could finish him off with a knife. go, and a big finish. In that case, get the key to move forward. And here's an instance where I don't necessarily have to fight this guy, but if I want that bonus at the end, probably a good idea to do so. Ooh, I can get in there. Watch this guy do the hokey pokey at me. And yeah, it is co-op, so yeah, this is more like grinding to get to the point where you're playing with some really powered up weapons on a really hard map with a friend, and just getting some really crazy situations, and it's pretty fun. Single player run through like on a stream like this not quite does it justice. So if this seems interesting in the slightest, playing it properly and being able to like actually grind for points and upgrade things is a lot of fun, and it's a really cool just extra mode. And gets to be, you know, online with voice chat, whereas the 3DS, whoa! Oh God, get up, get up! There we go, got the key. And that finishes that.
That was great.
So that leveling up again, level 8. Edge Runner, and this is one of the random drops I got, custom parts. But this being a demo, I get dumped back out to a continue screen. And none of that stuff actually transfers over. So, yeah, it's a good like quick look at how the mode works. But much like something like Monster Hunter, it's all about bettering your character and your equipment. So, playing through a demo gives you a quick taste, and a stream gives you like a general idea of what's going on. But anyone who's playing the 3DS version can attest. It's a pretty cool mode, and it's one of those things the more time you put into it, the more interesting it gets. So hopefully you can check that out when it comes out in May, or you know, you can check out more. Having been on the 3DS, there's a lot of information out. People have dug in and found some, you know, like any mode like this. There's always going to be all kinds of cool tricks that you can pull off that, you know, weren't necessarily known when it came out right away last February for 3DS. So it's a neat mode. Adding Rachel and Hunk adds a bit more replayability. They're available from the start. The other characters you will unlock by progressing in the campaign or meeting other requirements. And yeah, online co-op, pretty cool. Let's see. Look at some questions. There's no campaign No co-op in the campaign. It's still raid mode, and it's mainly because while there is a partner with you, often in Revelations there are several areas where there isn't, and we're not really playing what the character's doing. So sometimes it seems like, oh, we probably should have, but at the same time, there's this experience where you do want to have this sense of like, it is just that character in this situation. A lot of times you'll be Jill alone or flashing back to a different area, and there's some action scenarios where there's two people. It's, you know, Jessica and Parker together, or Chris and Jessica. generally speaking. Not sure about a demo either. No word on one, as far as I know. There is no laser sights. I did ask about this in a prior stream. You can tweak the crosshairs a bit, but there's no like, RE4 style laser sight. If there was more DLC or future raid characters, I couldn't say anything on the stream. But I know Rachel was just announced last week, so we're still that announcement's still pretty fresh. So we'll see when it comes out. Split screen co-op for raid, not that I know of, but I haven't really messed with it later builds. So I don't think so, but that's something I'll look into. But yeah, we're gonna head out. We actually got to start tearing down our booth because PAX is just about done. Don't forget, we announced DuckTales and Dungeons & Dragons HD remakes for both. For DuckTales, a very thorough reimagining, redrawing of the levels and the graphics. A lot of the original voice actors from the cartoon, the original Scrooge McDuck is still in there, believe it or not. And Dungeons & Dragons, like classic arcade games from years and years ago. They never really got their due in the US. Had some arcade highlights, but never really got a home release. So having those out too is awesome. Yeah, that wraps up the PAX stream. We'll probably stream some more from E3. We also have recurring streams from Capcom Unity back in our office in California. This mic is really low, so it's hard to look up and talk. But thanks for watching all week. Yeah, well, we usually have Monster Hunter Mondays where Yuri and people will play Monster Hunter. There won't be one this Monday because we'll actually be traveling back from PAX. And the following Monday, I think, traveling back from WonderCon, which is another big convention in California. But after that, we'll get back into Monster Hunter. Peter and Nidell, that's Haunts and Combo Fiend, do a lot of recurring fighting game streams on Fridays. You can catch them on Capcom Fighters on Twitch. So a lot more stuff to come. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.